I have the Radiolink T16D transmitter, 16 channel transmitter, and the Radiolink ELRS, Express LRS module, and the Radiolink ER16, 16 channel Express LRS receiver. I want to thank them for sending these for review. So the receiver comes naked. The antennas aren't attached, but it has IPEX connectors for the antennas. They just snap on. It comes with a pre-tinned set of 4 wires. We'll take a close-up of the receiver so that you can see the pads. It has a ground, has voltage. It has a transmitter pad and a receiver pad. The receiver pad is the 4th pad, and that's where the green wire goes, which is for telemetry. So I just attached a single wire shroud to the green wire, since I'm going to be connecting this to a Radiolink Byme Gyro, and just attached a standard JR servo connector to the other 3 wires to patch it into the Radiolink Byme Gyro, and that worked out just fine. I recommend that you do not install your heat shrink. It also comes with a clear heat shrink until you're sure everything is working properly, in case you get a bad solder joint or a bad wire or something. That way you don't have to cut the heat shrink off and do that over again. Okay. I also recommend that you install your module before you install the antenna on it. It makes it a little bit easier to attach it to the adapter on the back of the transmitter, and we'll go through that right now. Okay, so let's flip the transmitter over so you can see the adapter and the pins on the back. Now the module is going to go over the top of that, kind of like a saddle mount. It's gonna fit right over the top of it, and it's going to seat in just north of where the pins are. Okay, you want to make sure that it is level from side to side and front to back, so that you don't bend any of the pins, and you make sure that the ports on the module are lined up with the pins on the receiving adapter. Okay, and it takes a little bit of force to pull it back, but you'll feel it actually click into place. You'll know when that's fully seated in there, and then when that's done, then you can attach the antenna. Don't forget to attach the antenna before you power it up, otherwise you might burn up the unit. You also want to make sure that whatever module you attach to whatever transmitter, right, they all have their voltage requirements. Make sure that you're not powering your transmitter with a higher voltage than what your module is rated for, because that could also damage the module. So just be aware of that. Look at what your voltage requirements are for your transmitter, and also what the voltage requirements are for your module before you power it up. Let's go ahead and power up the transmitter. And what we want to do is go in and enable the external module, RF module, rather than the internal module. So we'll go into the menu and then go into the receiver settings. And then from there, RF settings. And you'll see it's currently set to internal. We want to switch from the internal chipset to the external module. There is a blue LED on the back of the module that is currently not lit, but when we power it up, we'll flip it back over, and you'll see that you can tell there's power going to it because the blue LED will be lit. It gives us a warning. Go ahead and exit. Select external. Wants to make sure that you have a module attached. And now you can see the blue LED is lit up on the back of it. So we know we got power to it. If we go in and we take a look at the protocols, it defaults to ELRS, which is what we want, but there's also a couple of other protocols in there. Crossfire version 2 and Beast X are also there. We're going to leave that at ELRS, and if you look at the baud rate, it defaults to what is recommended at 400K. And then we'll go into our parameter list here, and this is where we're going to go in and we're going to be able to bind to it. Now I left everything up here at the defaults, except for I think that I had to change the model match. I changed it from off to on because I don't want to accidentally connect to a model with a different receiver. I want my A560 model to match up to this receiver, and if I don't have the proper model connected, I want it to alert me to that. So I'm going to leave the model match to on rather than off. And then if you look down toward the bottom, you will see that is where your bind is. So that when we put the receiver into bind mode, and here you can change the power settings for all the way from I think 100 milliwatt to a full 1 watt. I'm going to leave it at 100. And then we'll go back to that parameter menu again. At the very bottom, you'll see that there's the bind option down at the very bottom. And when you're bound up to the receiver, you'll get a C up in the top right hand corner that shows that you're connected to it. Okay, so now we will take a look at the receiver and get it set up in bind mode so that we can bind up to it with a transmitter. I've got this Y cable connected to it just so I could bring it out further, the receiver out further so that you could see it. All right, so there's two ways that you can get this receiver into bind mode. One is there's a little tiny button on the back side of it. You can hold that down while you power it up. It's difficult for me to do that, to hold that down while I'm connecting the battery to it. So what you can also do is you can quickly power it up and power it down 3 times quickly. Power cycle it 3 times quickly. And then that will put it into bind mode as well. And that is what I'm going to do. So now I'm going back into the menu, back into the RF settings, back into the parameters for the Express ELRS module. That is where our bind function is that we looked at earlier. So I'm just going to scroll down to the bind option down there. I'm going to power up the plane, and then I'm going to power cycle the receiver 3 times quickly, and then you will see the blue light flashing. It'll flash like 2 or 3 times rapidly, and then it will pause, and then it will flash 2 or 3 times quickly again, and then pause. Okay, so now you can see you're getting like 2 quick flashes and then a pause, 2 quick flashes and a pause. So it is in bind mode right now. So when we bind to it, you'll notice there'll be a C up in the upper right hand corner of the screen, and that shows that we are currently connected to it. Okay, so it does let you know in the transmitter when you're connected to it. And we'll go ahead and put our gyro in manual mode here so we can actually move the ailerons. There we go. And so you can see that we're connected to it and we have control on the aircraft. Now that we have it bound up, there's one parameter that we need to change in the receiver. And the way that we can do that is if we power off the transmitter and then power up the receiver again, power up the plane and the receiver. If the receiver is not connected to a transmitter within the first 60 seconds, it will automatically go into wireless access mode. It'll create an access point that we can connect to, use our browser to go to the configuration page and configure one parameter that we need to change in order for it to work with one of the Radiolink Byme Gyros, because it defaults to crossfire protocol in communication with the gyro or flight controller, and we need to put it into S-Bus protocol. Okay, now we're in AP mode. You see that quick flashing blue LED light? So let's go over to the laptop now. Okay, so if we bring up our wireless network here, you'll see Express ELRS is one of them, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect to that. And I've already connected to it in the past, setting this up. So it didn't ask me for my passphrase. I'm already connected to it. Yeah, Express ELRS RX. And so now if I put in 10.0.0.1 in my browser window, And you need to have this pretty close to whatever you're connecting to, right? Okay, so here is the, because it's very weak. It's a very weak signal, so you need it as close to your phone or your laptop, whatever you're using to connect to it to. All right, so the one thing that we're going to change in here, if we go to model, and you'll see here serial protocol. All right, it defaults to Crossfire protocol. In order to connect this Express ELRS receiver to a Radiolink Byme Gyro, whether it's a Byme A, a Byme D, or a Byme DB, it communicates either via S-Bus or PPM. So we want to go ahead and we want to select S-Bus. If you don't do this step and you're connecting it up to a gyro or flight controller that communicates over S-Bus, you'll be able to bind to the receiver, but you won't get any control for the aircraft. Okay, this is the one thing that you need to change. This is the only thing that I had to change to get this to work. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save that. Configuration that says is updated. Okay, so now that we have that switched from Crossfire to S-Bus protocol for our receiver to communicate with our gyro or flight controller, now we'll go ahead and disconnect this. Now that we've made our configuration change, we'll go ahead and disconnect power from the receiver. We'll power our transmitter back up. And then we'll power the plane back up and the receiver so that we can bind back up to it. Okay, we've got a solid blue light. We got full bars on the transmitter. We're bound up to it. Now let's go ahead and flip the plane over. I just want to make sure that everything is working as it should now that we've made our configuration change. Make sure we've got control of the aircraft. There we are. We've got it in fully stabilized mode. We've got full control over all the control surfaces. I also want to make sure that my throttle safety switch is working. Make sure that we've got power to the motor. We do. Okay, so our throttle is working just fine. Our control surfaces are working just fine. Our throttle safety switch is working just fine. Now let's make sure that the 3 gyro modes are working. Okay, so right now we're in fully stabilized mode, and so the control surfaces are moving just fine. Correcting just fine. We'll put it in the center position, which is a gyro mode or wind mitigation mode. So it won't move the control surfaces unless there's an abrupt movement in the plane that's not due to the control sticks. And we'll put it in full manual mode and check and make sure there's no input from the gyro. So all those gyro modes are working just fine. We'll put it back in fully stabilized mode and check it one more time. So it looks like we are completely good on our configuration for our Express ELRS module, our Express ELRS receiver. We've got it working with our Byme Gyro after switching the protocol from the receiver from Crossfire to S-Bus. So now we are ready for a test flight. That's a wrap on this episode. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time in the Tinkerz Lab.